In this video I'm going to show you how I mount my GoPro camera to my kayak, in case anybody else out there is interested in maybe filming their fishing trips. I have a couple go-to camera mounts that have served me pretty well, and maybe some other tips and tricks to share with you to help you get some nice interesting footage while you're out there fishing. Well, normally while I'm out fishing, there are two different vantage points that I think are my favorite to use. They both involve this extension pole that I made, on the end of which there's a male half-inch PVC fitting, and I can screw that into the two spots that on the kayak, like this one that's up on the front, and that I can swivel around and give me a view of myself from the front of the kayak, kind of like that up there. And another place that I can use this extension pole is behind the seat to give me an over the shoulder shot. There's a female fitting right there that's on the boat, and I can twist the extension pole into that spot to give me a vantage point from behind while I'm fishing forward. And that's a pretty good place to put a camera because it's accessible. All you do is just reach right behind you, and you can get the camera if you have to switch batteries or something, or if you want to switch up the position and you're in too deep a water to access it. I have been asked before how I get good sound using a GoPro, and a lot of people that use them realize really quickly that if you have the waterproof housing on, you're not going to get any sound. Everything's going to be really, really muffled. The way I get some decent sound is by using the non-waterproof back door on the GoPro housing. That allows sound to come in. This one just had an empty spot in the back, meant for the LCD screen that comes with the GoPro. And you can see I took some fur, just some furry fabric that I had laying around, and glued it to the perimeter of the housing. And that suppresses the wind noise that you get, because if your microphone is exposed to any kind of wind, it's going to just sound awful. Kind of like, where's the microphone on this? Yeah, it's unacceptable. So some kind of wind suppressor on the back of your camera is highly recommended. Another cool thing about filming your fishing trips is when the fish aren't biting and there's nothing doing. There have been days when I've come home with some really nice footage, and that can be a reward in and of itself. Again, because it's so beautiful out here, and the ability to capture these things can be just as good as a nice day of fishing. And it certainly can be a good thing to fall back on if the fish aren't biting or the tide is slack and you're waiting for things to pick up. Definitely get creative with your shots. Think about what's going to look cool. Try different angles, different perspectives. Put the camera in the water, or with the waterproof housing, obviously. Or get some close-ups of your equipment. These kind of things are pretty neat. Interesting. because for sure people are going to notice it. And if you don't give them anything to look at, just you and like a talking head, you know, and with plain old background that doesn't change, it really lacks interest. So you can have a fishing video like this where you don't catch anything, you're not showing any fish, that could still be pretty interesting for your subscribers. And today, as far as getting creative, I brought a mount that I'm going to try out. I don't need the light, I need all of this. I've got a magnetic mount attached to a weight. Oopsie. I painted the weight red so that it'll be visible in the water. And the rope is just there so I don't lose it. But I'm going to attach the camera to this with the waterproof housing on it. And I'm going to drop it in the water and paddle over it, see what kind of shot that gets us. Well, if you're ever fishing in shallow water, like I am right now, or even if you're in, 3 or 4 feet of water, one of the options you have for filming is to use a monopod. And it's the same concept as a tripod, but it only has one leg. I first stumbled upon one by finding one in the trash, and I was like, oh, what's this? This looks like some sort of camera equipment. And I looked up the name online and I was like, oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty nifty. So I kind of made my own that's more lightweight, and it's just, collapsible, made out of PVC. And I put my GoPro mount on top of it, and it's got little junctions and stuff so I can vary the height depending on the depth of the water. And you get some pretty neat shots. When you can see yourself and your boat, and hopefully yourself catching a fish from a distance, as opposed to mounting the camera on the kayak itself all the time. It's some extra work. You got to set the camera up, and it can be frustrating if things are not in the frame and all. But I'm sure you'll appreciate it when you get that good shot, and it's definitely worth it. I will tell you one thing for sure. When you're out fishing, typically you've got some really, really nice scenery. The water is just so beautiful so often. And to have a camera with you to capture those moments is really neat. I can look back on fish that I've caught, trips that I've gone on, and you can even track what the water was doing, what the tides were like, and stuff like that on your videos, so that if you see similar conditions in the future, you can go back out there and hopefully catch fish again, like if you had a really good day. I don't personally keep a log, but the video just acts as one by itself, so that's kind of nice. One of the things I do now that I bring a camera with me is I bring little paper towels in my dry box. A lot of times, take that camera out of the housing there, your camera is going to get dirty, or at least the lens cover is going to get dirty. And if you have something clean and dry on hand, you'll be able to clean up that lens cover pretty good. Of course, you know that one of the good accessories for your GoPro is a head mount. And you can put this on right over your hat, and that'll give you a good point of view. What is that? The first person perspective. Let me take the camera and I'll put it on there right now. I know you've seen this shot before. There you go. Now I'm hands-free, and this way you can see everything that I see. It pans as I tilt my head. A mount for on top of your noggin is a great way to capture video footage while you're out there paddling. It allows you to use your paddle and your fishing pole and whatever else you might need your hands for, and it gives you a really good perspective of everything that's going on. And this here is a chest mount. It's just a piece of plastic, and I screwed a GoPro mount to it on the top. It has a stretchy band here, and then on the bottom there it has a strap with a clasp on it. Feels like I'm wearing a bra out here, but you can see I can put the clip right into there. And now you've got another point of view shot. These are kind of good if you're doing something with your hands and you want to get a close-up of it. It's a lot easier to frame something when you can look down at the camera than when it's on top of your head. Sometimes when you're wearing it on your head, you may not have the shot framed. Like if you're holding up a fish and the camera's looking way up in the sky, you may not know it and miss those shots. So a chest mount's pretty cool for a lot of reasons. It's also nice just to have a little variety so that you can get different angles to spice up your videos. Filming while I'm out here fishing really has added a whole new perspective to coming out on the water. It's just given me more reasons to be creative and to have fun, and it's very rewarding. It can be some work sometimes, especially when you go home and you have to make sense of all the footage that you got and you have to assemble it into a video. That can be very time consuming and a lot more work than some people want to put into their hobby. But if you have a little bit of spare time and feel like getting a camera, I think it's definitely worth it, and it can be a lot of fun for you out there. Hope this video has helped you a little bit, and keep watching. We'll get fish someday.